What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we're playing none other than man's or human's best friend. We are of course playing Nasus. And like, come on, like, he might not be cute, but this guy, he still kind of deserves a snack, right? Like, come on. He is freaking awesome. He's really fun to play. And a champion that I strongly recommend anyone in the top lane to try out at some point in their top lane career. He is really fun to play. He's insanely strong if played right. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to be talking about how to play Nasus in the early, mid, and late game and focusing on the macro play. I will not be going into detail with how the abilities work, the combos, and the general mechanics. Instead, I've left a link for my other video down below where I go over these things. But in this one, we will solely focus on the macro play, the decision making, and I'll use this game as kind of an example for you guys to get into my head and kind of hear my train of thought when playing him, what I focus on, and how you should be playing this guy in the different phases of the game. By the way, before we get too much into it, then for those of you who are new in here, make sure to go down below, click that subscribe button, join into our awesome community. And also, if you do want to see me live, then go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. And of course, if you do enjoy this one, I would greatly appreciate it if you just click that like button. It actually helps me out quite a lot because it tells YouTube that this is a video worth watching. Anyway, today we are playing against a Lucian in lane, and usually with Nasus you can feel like this can be kind of a loose lane. It can be a pretty hard lane to play against because Nasus is really weak in the early game. This is where he struggles the most, and this is kind of the opposite with Lucian. Not only is he ranged, but Lucian really strives in the early to mid game, so he's kind of the opposite of Nasus. So the way we are going to play this and the way we want to play this is we want to play as defensively and as safe as possible. And this is actually what you want to be trying to do in just about any matchup with Nasus. You rarely want to go in and go full damage on them. You literally just want to try and get as many stacks as you can, play as safely as you can, and just get your siphoning strike up. Once you get level 6, and you can get your Sheen, then you're actually going to start allowing yourself to reach a point where you can start 1v1ing people or champions depending on kind of the matchup. But eventually you'll be able to beat just about any champ. And what I'm doing here is also I'm taking the second level in my queue, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I do not expect any fight to be starting up here. Pantheon started top side and then went down bot, meaning he's not going to be here anytime soon. I'm not going to be dueling Lucian by myself, so I might as well get that extra cooldown reduction on my siphoning strike, making it slightly easier for me to farm, and also allowing me to get more siphoning strikes off and thereby getting more stacks, which eventually hopefully will make us reach a point where we can beat this guy up. So far things are really nice. This Lucian is doing a pretty horrible job at poking us. He's giving us too much free space. He should be trying to almost zone us out, but he's not really doing that well, to be very honest. Anyway, let's kind of talk about some of the pros and cons there is with Nasus. So the first one of the ones we have talked about is, of course, Nasus is a really slow early game champ. He needs to get his siphoning strikes up before actually being able to do that much. And this is, of course, kind of his biggest weakness. But the cool thing with him is that he is both a champ that you can actually solo carry with. He is tanky. He has like, he's just like a kind of what you can say, a heavy bloomer or a late bloomer probably is what you could call him. And he's then heavy C or heavy countered by crowd control. So if you're playing against a really crowd control heavy team, then this is something to of course look out for. All right, here we are gonna slow. I don't know what this guy, he messed up so hard. I think he panicked. Not that I minded, but I don't know what he did. I think he wanted to flash and he literally clicked the wrong button. I feel bad for him. Anyway, that kind of makes our job a little easier, but it doesn't really change the fact that on our next back, regardless of whether or not this guy had died here and whether or not we got that kill, we would be able to get our Sheen, and we would also reach a point where we very soon would be able to duel him 1v1, because he's not been doing a good enough job of keeping us kind of at bay. We've been able to get our siphoning strikes up. We're getting closer to 100 stacks. What I usually say to newer Nasus players is once you reach around 130 stacks and you have your ult and you have Sheen, then you can mostly almost, wow, I can't believe I missed that one. You should never miss cannon minions, by the way, with your siphoning strike. That's super important. But once you reach that point, you can basically 1v1 just about any champ in the early game if you haven't died to them. Nasus just becomes that freaking strong at it. And like, it kind of makes it quite simple. Against this guy, our main objective is that I want to be getting or play the steel cap so we can deny some of his basic attack damage, some of that auto attack damage, get some extra armor. And we want to be rushing at the same time, or Sheen. As soon as we get Sheen, we're in a pretty good state. We are going to be backing in a moment, and then we'll TP back in lane, which is going to set us up really, really nicely. The reason why we are not taking a fight right now is, of course, because this guy already has been back. He's gotten his items, and he's at this point a lot stronger than we are, just because he's cashed in on his gold. The reason why I'm kind of waiting for a moment is because I'm not low on HP, I'm not in trouble, and I'm getting most of my stacks anyway. So I want to kind of exploit this for a moment, reach the point where I feel like if I back now and then TP back up, then I can actually just go right in this guy's face and kill him. And that's kind of what I'm playing for now. I'm just kind of waiting it out a little bit and kind of setting myself up for victory. So right, we're 120 stacks now, probably going to be taking this wave, and then we're going to be looking for that back. So I'm just going to make sure that I utilize the health I have. All right, here we're going to be careful because this guy could be going for his ult, and this is perfect. I'm going to be backing out. I actually don't want this guy to help. Okay, he is going to use his flash, and I think that's what he wanted to do earlier. The thing is, yes, this was a decent gank. I don't mind it at all to a certain extent. But what I really... Okay, he actually managed to kill him, which is nice. I'm going to TP up here so we don't lose too many of these minions. But the thing is that I knew for a fact that as I came back up here, I would be able to beat this guy up on my own. So I actually didn't want this guy to go in my lane mostly, so I could show you guys how well this works. We had like 130 stacks. We got our play the steel caps, and we got our Trinity or our Sheen. So we are now at that point where like there's not that much that this Lucian can do. He's in a really rough spot. He's equal farm, but seeing as we have this siphoning strike that constantly just stacks up our damage, then he's in a hell lot of trouble. But yeah, generally speaking with Nasus, how you want to be playing the early game is you want to be playing very, very safely. At level 1, you of course want to take your siphoning strike. At level 2, you want to be taking your E, unless you know that your jungler is going to early gank, then you can take your W for the slow effect, but otherwise your E is generally better. Right here, we can actually be looking for an all-in if we want to. But again, I don't mind, as long as I don't get poked. Like, I don't have to all-in. Like, the longer I like, and this is what you need to remember yourself, don't play overly aggressive. If there's no point of taking a fight, and there is a world where this guy can win a fight if you mess up somehow, or he does a great job kiting or something, then like don't force a fight that is not necessary. Right here, yes, I could just run right in his face, but me sitting here and getting these extra siphoning strikes is just becoming a security for me, meaning that whenever I do take this fight, then I'm 100% sure I'll win. And even if their jungler comes up here, well, maybe I'm gonna just go ahead and kill both of them. And that's the thing with Nasus, you can actually like 1v2. So don't force fights you don't need to. If you're getting your farm, if you're getting your siphoning strikes, and you're not getting poked out of lane, then like just enjoy it. Get yourself to a point where there's no point of return for the other guy, and then you can go for the fight. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. We're just kind of chilling, taking our CS, and we're now almost at 200 stacks. And this guy is soon gonna start realizing what has happened. Like, he's not gonna know what hit him before the train leaves the station. Like, it's gonna be over. And that's the cool thing about Nasus. That's really what you want to be playing for generally. And the good thing about doing this is also that it becomes much harder for the enemy jungler also to realize this. Like, a lot of people, when they see a lane losing hard, then they're gonna start funneling a lot of energy into trying to save that lane. But seeing as we're literally just stacking up and their jungler has no idea, we're sitting safely under our turret basically, then there's like, it's just kind of rough for him. Like, they're not gonna, at lower elo, they're not gonna notice, and once they do, it's gonna be too late. And that's exactly what we are playing for at the moment. So we're now on 230 stacks, gonna be pushing this forward. And I think actually with this, we can just take the last wave here with the cannon minion, and then we're gonna be starting to probably look for a back or an all-in as this guy comes back up in lane. Of course, he just got back. He has a couple of items extra now, but seeing as the lead we have in terms of our siphoning strikes, and I'm still not too worried. So we're gonna take it a little slowly. Again, I just kind of want to get my stacks. This guy's looking for an all-in, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead, turn around on him, and we can flash on him here because we know he doesn't have his flash ready. And literally just like, this is exactly what I mean. He has no chance. Even though he had more gold, or he had cashed in on his gold, then he still didn't stand a chance because we have that many stacks at this point. Right here, we know right now, I'm pretty sure I saw their jungler bot side, so I can go ahead, I can get myself a stack, and we can actually be looking. I think what we're going to do, seeing as we have our TP ready in a moment, and I'm actually going to stay here. I'm going to get as much gold as I extra can, and then we can be looking for the TP backing lane. And then we're going to try and see how many of the armor platings that we also can capitalize on. And again, like, this guy's still in such a rough spot. I'm going to make sure I have vision around me, because at this point, I know that their jungler is probably starting to move topside now. He's probably realizing what's going on. My Pantheon's right here, so we're feeling pretty good. And the thing is, with Nasus is an insanely good split pusher. This is something you gotta realize. Like, you can just see this guy literally just panicked. He just dashed, flashed, everything, and we didn't use a single thing. Like, we literally just barfed a little, or barked, not barfed, barked a little at him, and he had to, yeah, take his tail between his legs and run away. And this is exactly what you want to do. We're now at 14 minutes. Our farming hasn't been absolutely insane. Like, you can get more farm than this, but in a ranged lane, then this is definitely a decent or a pretty good place to be, like, farm wise. So we're going to be getting this. I'm going to be backing real quick. Oh, actually, there's a fight going on here that I did not realize. But I'm literally just going to run under a turret. And I'm going to go in, Q him. It's going to be a free kill. We're going to be able to literally just push this turret. Seeing as I'm going to look for it back, and I now don't need my TP, I'm actually going to be using my ult in order to push this really quickly. And also because then I can just use my siphoning strike with lower cooldown on these minions. Get those extra free stacks in there before my back, and before I'm going to have to run back in lane. Because at this point, seeing how things are going, then I'd rather hold on to my TP since we got the turret down. I'd rather hold on to it for a potential team fight, because what you want to be doing now that we move into the mid to late game, then what you want to be doing on Nasus is that you constantly want to be trying to split push, and then you want to be using your TP to kind of group up with your team. So whenever you see a fight about to erupt, then that's when you wanna use your TP. So I'm just gonna wake a few gold. I need myself a control wards. There we go. All right, so the way you split push, there are some different scenarios. So the first one is if you want to split push top, then there are two options. If Baron is up and you don't have TP, then you split push top. If Baron is up and you do have TP, then you want to split bot. And the reason for this is that you're going to be putting split push pressure on the map that forces the enemy team to go opposite. So basically, if you have your TP, you want to be as far away from the next objective as possible, such that the enemy team has to put resources into keeping you at bay. And once they do that and the objectives like Drake and Baron are then started, then you can just TP down there and they're going to be a man short and you're going to be able to 5v4, or they're going to have to match your TP. But the thing is that pretty often you'll find that they send one guy up there, but Nasus can duel just about anyone. If you've stacked like well enough, then you're sitting in a position where it's going to be really hard for them to contest you. And if you can see a fight is unwinnable by an objective, you can literally just push in. You are such a fast pusher in terms of like you smash turrets in a matter of moments. All right. So right here, I want to start making sure that I get myself some vision around me, because I have no idea where everybody is. And also, I'm going to make sure I use my Q onto these wards, because that's just extra stacks as well. So you might as well take care of those things. Use your Q on the wards as well. I am going to lose the control ward I just set, but luckily we bought two, so we can just place a new one in a moment. All right. Going back up here, and right now there's pressure on bot side because that's where Pantheon is, and the rest of our team is moving down there. So we're just going to do the exact same thing as we've been doing constantly. Going to be going here, and at this point we are so strong that even if they send two people to us, they're probably not going to have any success taking us down. Like, their most fit champions at this point is their Victor and it's their Lux, and we're soon going to be starting to build a little bit of magic resist because of this, because I want to make sure that they don't just shut us down. So I'm going to be going in here and putting a down control ward, and we're just going to take a little careful. I'm going to be looking for an in on this Lucian. He's probably going to dash. And again, if he becomes too greedy, like, he might get us a bit down in HP here, but it's not really a problem. Like, we can 2-hit him and we lifesteal back up, so we're not in that much of trouble. All right, right now they're just getting pinged. We're gonna back out a little bit till we have better knowledge of what's going on. So we're just gonna be going into the bush here. We're gonna kind of wait. All right, we see Lux is here, moving on our ward, so we're kind of gonna chill. All right, but generally speaking, in terms of where you want to split push, you always, if you have TP ready, split push the furthest away from the next objective. So if Baron is the next objective, then you want to split push bot. If you have TP, if Drake is the next objective, then you want to split push top. If you do not have TP, then of course you want to split the side in which the objective is in, such that you can group up with your team as quickly as possible. Meaning that if Baron is the next objective and you don't have TP, then you of course want to be split pushing in top side so you can quickly run to your team and help them out. But again, I'm gonna make sure I'm just trying to reapply vision. Right now I see 4 or 5 people over here. I feel kind of safe just taking these really quickly. Our stacks are reaching a point of, like, we're almost at 600 stacks now. Things are becoming really difficult. And here's the cool thing. They just use TP right there. And this actually means that we can get Drake 100% free. I could really use a back right now, but I'm actually not going to. And the reason for this is that I want to make sure that I push this. Maybe I could have done it just before I said this, I could have gone back and still got into lane and pushed this way forward. But I want to make sure that I push the top side such that if they don't come and defend this, then they'll just lose Drake because I'm going to TP down there. So I'm just going to push this. It's going to ensure that that we are going to be outnumbering them at Drake. And if they all go down there, I'm just going to push full in. Like, I'm going to go full throttle. Also, this guy is overextending, so I can run after them. I'm not going to go all in. He used his ult for nothing, which is super nice. So right here, I'm going to ping to my team that I have TP ready. And this should completely open up the game. If I see Lucian down there, then I'm just going to go full throttle and split push in. But I'm not going to. Most likely he's going to have to stick here. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to play this carefully. I'm going to keep looking down here. It actually seems like they're winning the fight and there's no point for me to TP there right now. Going to keep an eye out, see if things erupt even more. Again, it looks like things are under control. I'm going to TP now, because I don't want this ward to disappear. And I want to ensure that we get this Drake. So right here, we are going to be winning Drake. I don't know why Pantheon just went full throttle on them, but I'm going to be taking the Drake because that is the safest thing for us to get. This is a free objective. So we'll be taking this and then we'll be backing off. We have like 2,500 gold. So we're in a really, really sweet spot. And now you can kind of try and guess, where is our next split push? Where are we going to go? Like right now, I want you to look at the map, think about it for a second, and then I'm going to give you the answer. So look at the map, identify what is the next objective and what do you want to do? Well, the next objective on the map potentially is, of course, the Baron. And since it's the Baron, then we are, of course, gonna go bot side. This is where we want to go. We want to be or actually we want to go top side because we don't have TP. This is my bad. We don't have TP, so we want to be as close to Baron as possible so that we can group up with our team. However, if we did have our TP, then we would like to go bot side in order to split push, but we don't, so we're gonna go top. So we're just slowly going to be moving up here. We're going to keep stacking. And this is the reason why you really want to be split pushing on Nasus. You don't want to be grouping too much with your team. Is you want to make sure that you keep stacking throughout the whole game. You want to keep this going. You never ever want to stop stacking because this is what allows you to 1v9. Like, we are pretty fed. Yes, we only have 3 kills, but like literally we can at this point probably kill like most of their team on our own. Our biggest issue right now is that the enemy team is primarily fed on their AP champs, so on their ability power. So we need some magic resist, which is what we're currently building. We're building ourselves a Spirit Visage, which is really, really going to be insane for us. So right here, I see 3 people down here, meaning at tops there can be 2 up here, and there's already 2 dead. So we're actually 100% free to just push here. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to have Lucian here. I'm actually just going to not care about him at this point because I know for a fact that I can literally just go in there, click twice on him, kill him, and we can do the same to this guy. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. And this is like, at this point, there's not much they can do. Like, they have been kind of neglecting us for so long that now we can just kind of smash them. All right, so we're going to keep pushing. There are 2 people dead from their team, 2 people mid, meaning max 1 that can defend. That one guy is here. I'm going to be flashing past that one, and we're just going to kill her as well. So dodge that and get another kill. So you can see at this point, we just picked up ourselves 3 extra kills, and now we can start pushing this turret, and we can take it down extremely quickly and just open up their base. And this is exactly what we want to do. So we got that one. Now there's 2 people alive. We have ult in 20 seconds, but I see that there are 3 people on the map. So I'm going to be slowing this guy, moving away. In 10 seconds, I have my ult. And if they keep chasing me, I will turn. I will turn and I will kill the both of them. So we'll just kind of move out. I do not believe that they have vision in the bush right here. I'm going to try and exploit that. So right here, I'm gonna be going in. We're gonna be smashing them as well. And now we can go down and take their inhib. So you can see just how we keep trying to play it smart. We keep trying to just split push, stack, and just get immensely strong by doing so. So right here, let's go ahead, take the free inhib, because we know that 2 people are here. Actually, all 3. They're not even gonna bother going to us at this point. They know they probably can't defend it. We take down that inhib. And now what we can do is, the cool thing is now we have our TP back. We can go back base. We can buy our stuff and we can split push in bot side, which means that that's going to free up Baron. And we can basically outplay them by TPing Baron if need be. So I'm going to take the last couple of minions there and I'm going to be backing out. Go Baron once I split top, please. So I'm going to be backing out. We're going to go ahead, finish our Spirit Visage, which is going to be an absolutely insane item for us. Then I want to be building a Dead Man's Plate as our next thing. I'm actually going to be selling this because I really want this extra movement speed. So we're going to be getting that part and we're just going to move down here. Drake is also coming up. So now there's actually 2 objectives on the map, but there's no point for us to push top because they already have to put a person up there in order to keep the super minions at bay. If these minions get into the base, then we also have the option of actually finishing the game if they try and contest one of these objectives. But I'm going to be moving down bot. I'm going to be pushing. And actually I can go in here. Now we're going to have an outnumbering advantage because Lucian has to keep these guys away. So I'm just kind of going to be strolling around, being close by, and ensure that we do get this objective. Right there, free Drake. I'm just kind of staying close by. I want to move down here as quickly as possible. And you can see now they're sending 2 people down to us, and literally we can solo these 2 easy as well. Seems like the 3rd one is kind of like moving back and forth here because they are looking to do something to us. Like I don't think they don't really know how to actually shut us down, because we're now sitting at like almost 800 stacks. Our team is also in a pretty sweet spot overall, I think. But I'm not going to be doing much here because right now, as you can see, my entire team is back base. And whenever they are back base, go Baron, I have TP. Whenever my team is base and they're not applying pressure anywhere on the map, then of course you want to be backing out unless you can see the rest of the team and know that you're safe. But right here, we have TP. So we're split pushing bot such that we can TP to Baron if they try and contest it. Also, if they mess up, we can TP over here. That's also an option, and try and finish the game if they try and defend. But you can see they can't. They at this point they just cannot contest Baron. If they do, they'll simply lose too much of their base. I'm gonna keep just applying pressure. Gotta be a little careful because I don't really have much vision. I actually don't have vision above me. And this is something that I want to make sure that we kind of get a handle on. I see 3. You can see, right, there are 3 people now trying to figure out what they're going to do about me. Like, they're scared because they don't know where the rest of our team is either. We're just sitting here, kind of chilling. Getting our stacks. We're almost at 1k stacks now at 30 minutes, which is kind of what you want to be aiming for. You want to be trying to get about 1k in 30 minutes if possible. And you can see our stacks are just going completely nuts. So right there, I want to get up into their jungle and just get a control ward down because I want to make sure that I don't get flanked. But we see, actually I think we could hide in here. I have the feeling these guys, one of them are going to run through the jungle here and he's going to get smashed in the head with, I could actually, this is kind of a greedy flash, I'm going to be honest. But like, there's not that much they can do. Like, we're literally just going under turret, killing them, and they're like, eh. Like, this dog bites. That's what he really does. But you can just see, and now or split, like, or we can kill these turrets in literally a few shots, which is amazing. Like, we're 9-0. They don't know what to do at this point. Like, they've been neglecting us for too long, and the game is now so far out. It's really hard for them to figure out what the hell they're supposed to do in order to shut us down, because they need to group all 5 and take a 1v5 with us. And as long as we don't let them be 1v5 or 5v1 against us, like, or 1v5 again, that we're 1 and they're 5, then we're fine and we win the game. Like, there's not that much they can do. 8 seconds, then I have my ult back. So I'm gonna keep just applying pressure. I think here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use that we have or Baron buff. I'm gonna back real quick. I'm gonna get Dead Man's Plate. Also, I'm gonna be selling my ward. I'm just gonna get this, and then I'm gonna be TPing down, ensuring that we get this turret and just cashing in on my gold. Not really super necessary, but still super good. So we can go in and just kill these guys very easily. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty much a GG. So I hope this kind of makes sense. That was a really fun game. But this kind of shows just how strong Nasus becomes. Like, you don't need to have 20 kills. Like, the purpose of playing Nasus and the way you want to play him is you want to split push. You want to make sure that you use his potential to become so strong that the enemy just have to send more resources to you. And then you can just kind of back out a little and open up so many possibilities for your team. That is your objective. Your objective is not to run around and kill all 5 at once. Yes, you can do that with Nasus, and of course, if the opportunity presents itself, go for it. Go nuts. Let the dog free. But generally speaking, you want to kind of like be looking to always split push, stacking up, forcing several of the opponents or your enemies champions to go and defend you, and then just open up things for your team, and then holding on to your TP for team fights. So whenever a team fight does erupt, then you have the option of helping out and actually just TPing in and making sure you win that fight. In terms of fighting the team fight itself, this is something we didn't really touch too much on. I just want to explain it really quickly, and that is, in team fights, your objective is to get to the AD carries and the mid laners. So you want to get to all the squishy targets and smash them down. So you literally just want to, when you TP, you want to run right in their face, you want to wither them so they're slowed, and then you want to take your siphoning strike and you want to smash it right in their face and just, yeah, literally kill them in a moment. And also exploit if you have a good ward placed behind their carries to TP in on that one, such that you don't have to run through their front line first. This can also be really good if that presents itself. Anyway, I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this one, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was really fun. If you did, of course, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps me out. And if you are new in here, then make sure to go down below, subscribe to the channel, join into our awesome community. And yeah, if you want to see me live, go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. But with that said, then all I have left to say is stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.